4-5 ex-Untrue graduate Military College of Bullying and Bastardization. Ex-Army Captain David Elliott, the gung-ho New South Wales Minister for Police. He appears to be not normal and to have a serious personal problem. Ex-Army Rank Captain Loose Cannon, infamous Untrue graduate, most improved graduate in the mess, drinking a dozen schooners nightly. Dutch courage, excellence in bullying, bastardization. NB was David Elliott ever psych tested? A former Canberra hospital nurse has claimed she witnessed the army abandon the Hoddle Street killer, Julian Knight, leaving a trained soldier highly unstable months before he went on his shooting spree in Melbourne. And nurse Kim McKenzie believes the military must learn from its handling of Knight, her former patient, to better deal with soldiers who are bullied and bastardized within its ranks. Knight was responsible for one of Australia's worst shooting sprees. In 1987, the year he was kicked out of Untrue's military college, he took a gun to the Melbourne suburb of Clifton Hill and began firing randomly at innocent men and women. 7 were killed and another 19 were injured. Knight, serving life in Victoria, is currently using the ACT courts to allege the Commonwealth was responsible for bastardization, bashings, and bullying he says he was subjected to while a Untrue cadet earlier that year. He is also seeking compensation as a victim of crime and has also unsuccessfully sought a transfer to the ACT's prison system. The publicity surrounding the new developments in Knight's case has prompted former Canberra hospital nurse Kim McKenzie, now working in Darwin, to come forward. She has told Fairfax Media of what she saw when she was treating Knight in the Canberra hospital's surgical ward in the months before his shooting rampage. Knight was in the hospital after a fight between him and other cadets at a Canberra nightclub, said to be a result of bullying. That fight left Knight with extensive injuries, and also saw him stab a Untrue's superior with a pocket knife. Ms. McKenzie said she watched as a military chaplain visited Knight at his hospital bed, telling him he was to be booted out of the army. She says, despite Knight's obvious instability and mental distress, he was offered no psychological support, counseling, or follow-up from the military. The army literally abandoned this highly distraught, very young man, who had a high level of training in the use of weapons and in warfare, she said. There's a clear line between all these events and what eventually took place in Hoddle Street. I just don't think that the army, now that it's taking a look at itself and issues of bullying and the effects it has on young men, I just don't think they can stand aside from Julian Knight's story. If they don't recognize what occurred, then I suppose it will happen again. In responding to Ms. McKenzie's allegations, the Defense Department simply said it was not appropriate to comment, given Knight's current case in the ACT Supreme Court. At his sentencing for the massacre, Justice George Hambell described Knight as depressed, highly stressed and in an emotionally fragile state when he left Untrue's. The discharge, the judge told Knight, represented the total collapse and disintegration of your life's ambitions. Knight is behind bars in Victoria's Port Phillip prison, but has been appearing via video link in the ACT court, self-represented. Knight's lawsuit against the Commonwealth alleges he was assaulted by other cadets on 3 occasions during instances of bastardization while at Untrue's. He says he suffered personal injury as a result of employer negligence and that the government was responsible for a breach of its duty of care, vicarious liability and negligence. Ms. McKenzie said nursing staff at Canberra Hospital and the police who were guarding Knight during his treatment had become sympathetic and believed him when he spoke of his bullying at Untrue's.